Hello YouTube, Jano here, and I'm here to talk about something that's come back to haunt everyone. That is rating update. If you're new to Guilty Gear, you probably don't know what this is, but this is basically a leaderboard for Strive. It also works as a match history. This has been gone for 6 months, so we have been without rating update for 6 months. So there's been no leaderboards, and there's been no match history offline. This is done by someone that just wanted to do it. They're using Guilty Gear's API to do it, but this is basic leaderboard. So you have top 100s, you have top 100 for each character, so Potemkin, Ram, etc. They also have some cool little stuff like matchup charts, like based off everyone in the world, right? So these top 100 is PC, Xbox, PlayStation. And then, you have matchups like, oh, how's the Axel Soul matchup? How's it for Axel? How's it for Soul, etc. And then, there's distribution of players. There's popularity of characters, which characters are the most popular in which elos. And there's just normal stats and stuff. But it also works like a match history. So let's go to my account. So this is my account. So you can also check match histories of everyone else. So I can go check Neuenheimer's match history. So we're going to go to my account, right? So Miku fan number 3, that's my account. So when you open up your profile, you're going to see this number here. This is your MMR. It's called, I think it stands for Matchmake Game Rating. Matchmake Rating. This is basically your numbered elo and rank. This is a number that's going to go up and down. This is the amount of games you played. This is the standard deviation of your MMR. This is the number of your character you are. So I'm number 3 Ram right now. And this is number overall you are. 1, 2, 3. That's number overall. And this is the match history. I'm not going to explain all these numbers, but this is your match history. It shows when you played the games, etc., etc. And it shows you your win rates. So this site has been pretty polarizing for most people. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I'm indifferent. I kind of wish it wasn't here. But since it's here, I might as well use it for good and to get better at the game. I'll kind of explain that later. So let me kind of talk about the bad. So right now, everyone wants this number to go up. Like if you are addicted to your video game number going up, you want this number to go up. And there's ways of doing that. You can just play. I just play the game, so I don't dodge anyone as long as like you're playing normal, or you're not super laggy. I won't leave. And then, so my number is pretty legit, but there's a lot of people that game the system, right? You'll see a lot of people, you've seen people called out on Twitter already, which have 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 0-1 in their match history. It's basically like they're getting one game. They're like, I can't beat this guy. I'm leaving. They'll get 2 games. They're like, that second game was really close. I'm leaving. Or they'll lose once and they'll be like, I'm never going to rematch this guy again because he figured out how to beat me. So then this number will artificially get higher. I kind of want to explain why I think this number is kind of stupid in general. I don't think this number gives any meaning. So basically right here, right? I played against this Bedman. I won 6-3. 66% of the games, I won against this Bedman. 6-3. I lost 50 points for this. I had a positive win rate, positive win percentage, and I lost 50 points. It makes no sense, right? Same thing with this Testament. Positive win percentage, I lost 25 points. Why does that matter? Well, based off their MMR, it's calculating you shouldn't have lost this. You're 95% odds. Since you did lose, you're going to lose a lot of points for this. Obviously, that makes no sense, right? Because I have a great win rate. There's no reason for me to lose points. I won. I came out net positive. So there are situations where you could play 20 games a day in Celestial, and you lose one game and you come out a negative. It doesn't make sense. This is a stupid number to be stressing over. You're actually just going to make the game not fun for yourself. You're going to lose that one game and you'll be like, what the hell happened? Now you're going to be stressed for losing games. That's what causes people to go 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And that's what's annoying for me because I'm playing in tower and, this person dodges me. This person loses one game and dodges me. Someone finally goes up 2-0 in a game and me dodges me. This Leo dodged me. I'm sorry I'm calling everyone out, but this is what kind of makes this annoying. This Go Lewis dodged me. If you're a high level in the tower, I'm level 5,000, so I obviously look scarier than I actually am. People will dodge you. I think I played, you know, around 200 games in the tower, and I probably had like 30 dodges. There's so much downtime, right? In this game, you could barely connect anyway. I just want to play when I'm playing and people are dodging. Um, so obviously there's ways to game the system. There's a lot of negativity to this because people will dodge you. Which kind of like a bad environment for me personally. I don't really like this. I don't really care about this rank. Again, this isn't going to help me get better at the game. Like, I'm not going to do better in tournament because my number are bigger. So I have no reason to game the system. My real thing is this number right here, 80% win rate. I want to win more against characters. That number doesn't really signify anything. Because again, if I'm winning, you know, 8-1 against someone and I'm losing points, I didn't lose them here, but for example, like let's say I did, I want to know, like, you know, this is a win to me, even if I did lose points. Like, I'm like, nice, I beat this guy 1-0, 8-1. He was a good Oscar, right? Let's pretend I lost points here. Or, you know, let's say I played against this Testament, which I think was really good. This Testament player I thought was really good. I beat them 6-3. I consider that a win because I thought they were pretty good and they were doing things to beat my RAM. And that's a bad matchup for Testament, and I thought they were playing it really well. So I'm like, oh, nice. I beat them and they were playing really well. Sweet. You know, but I lost points. Obviously, it doesn't matter to me, but against someone that's farming points, it's going to matter to them. And, you know, they probably would have went 6-1 and then never played that Testament ever again in their life, you know? And then they would have never, like, you know, they would have took their points and left. And it's like, I don't think that's the way to do it. That being said, I want to kind of clear the air. I don't think the site is entirely bad. I think you could do a bunch of good stuff with this site. This is kind of how I use the site. So I played like 100 games a day. You know, I started playing Guilty Gear this day, probably like 10 p.m. I ended it at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, something like that. And I'm obviously not going to remember all the games I played. So I could kind of go through this list like, oh, okay, this Eno was pretty good. All right, how did I lose this? You know, like, oh, this Nago dodged me. That sucks. Oh, how did I lose this Soul? Again, this Soul I was having really big trouble against. I went back and I'm like, oh, I lost 1-5 to the Soul. What could I have done better against the Soul? I'm like, I was kind of backdashing too much. He got a buff to his far slash. I catch his backdash. He was getting killed a lot, right? And then let's say I don't remember what happened in that game at all. I could have been like, all right, I need to go back to my replays since, you know, this is within the 100 games. I go back to my replays and I could see what I did wrong against the Soul. So this is kind of how you could use it, right? You could even look at win rates like, okay, ooh, I'm kind of losing a lot to Bedmans. That's kind of weird, you know? Oh, my win rate's really high against this character. Like, obviously these are pretty low numbers because it's still early on in the season. But like, oh, my win rate's pretty high against Bridget, right? Okay, maybe I have the Bridget matchup down. Maybe I should focus something I'm losing to, you know? Like Happy Chaos or Bedman or something like that. So then I could start going to the tower and looking for Happy Chaos players and Bedman players to play. So that's also something you could do in the tower. And also, you could also check their rating. If everyone uses the site legitly, this is not too bad of a site because you'd be like, okay, this Happy Chaos, this Eno, let's say they were like around 1900 elo or something, or let's say the Soul. Oh, the Soul was really good. Okay, what were they doing that's good? Oh, like, how did I lose against one time against Happy Chaos? Did I just like really mess up and I got gimmicked out, or what happened? So there's kind of like things you could take away from looking at their elo. But again, if everyone's elo is kind of self-inflated, that's when it becomes a problem, I think. And also, like, just in general, I don't think people should take this to the heart. Like, you should not be stressing out over this. Again, there's a hide profile button if you don't want to see this MMR or rating. You just click on it and, you know, you can hide your profile. You know, this obviously is not something I care about. This is not going to make me better at the game. But, you know, I think this is not going to help me in tournament, right? I've been, you know, it's not going to help me get past my 64th place tournament spot every time, etc. So, but there are ways to use it well, like I just explained. You use like a match history, you go back, kind of look at which games you lost. You know, oh, like I'm like, oh, I overall came out pretty nice today. Like I only lost a handful of games. Doesn't matter if this number went up or down with those handful of games you lost. You know, it's still fine. Like it's still fine if your number goes down, but you had a good day of playing the game. It doesn't really matter. there are things this is really good for. I think player distribution is fun to watch. You know, like, oh, people always like everyone's in floor 10. As I could see, I think the majority of player base is between floors 3 and 9, and then floor 10 being the most amount of people. But I think if you add up all these numbers, this is the majority of the player base. Not people think like it's 80% in floor 10. It's 20%. And like you see like the percentage of rating, like, you know, 2000 is 0.4% of the player base right now. And stuff like that. You can see matchup charts like, okay, statistically based off like elo or based off characters, like, you know, which characters are winning which matchups, which characters are losing which matchups, stuff like that. And there's also this other site called rating update chart.vertical.app, which you could go and you could search your name, so Miku fan number 3, and you could see your growth graph over the years. So if you're using the site legitly, let's say, you know, this is obviously for a week since it's only been here for a week. Let's say, you know, you've been playing for a year and you're just like, okay, I want to see my improvement. You can look at this graph and it shows you everything, right? It shows not everything, but it shows you like, oh, nice, like you've been slowly progressing throughout the years. Or maybe you took a dip and you're like, oh, I wonder what happened during that dip. You can start kind of thinking about like, oh, like, man, what did I change here to make me start losing more games than winning games? Stuff like that. I also want to bring up op.gg because I kind of wish rating update worked like this. So if you go to op.gg, this is League of Legends, and this is my account again. I'm not using anyone's account. You kind of go to your game. You can kind of see how much damage you've dealt. Stuff like that, damage dealt to champions, damage taken, how many champions you've killed, gold you've earned. You could see the graph of the gold you earned, the kill map where you've killed someone, timeline. Obviously, Guilty Gear's API is not as built as League's is, but I wish it kind of worked like this, because instead of going to your match history and seeing, you know, number go up, number go down, let's say you're like, oh, I want to click into this match, right? You click on this match and it shows you what you used round start, how many buttons you've whiffed, how many times you've got a counter hit, except stuff like that, right? I think that's more useful information, because if you see, you know, you're getting hit 20 times average in your match, or you're getting counter hit 20 times average in your match, you'd be like, oh, this is obviously the problem. I need to take safer matches. And stuff like that. Sadly, we don't have the technology for that, but I just kind of want to explain, like, there's a difference between using this site to be like, wow, I'm best RAM, etc., or I'm best player in the world. You could use the site to better your gameplay. You use the site to be a better player. You use the site to kind of track how you're doing, which characters you're losing against, which characters you're winning against, why you're losing to some characters, going back and being like, okay, I need this soul game I definitely need to, or this chip game I definitely need to review, right? This is Voltion. I know Voltion's really good. 2000 elo Voltion. All right, let me see what he did to beat me and where I messed up in this match. So yep, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you guys don't get tripped up if you rank a lot, and if rank is really giving you anxiety, go ahead and hide your profile. I really recommend that. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Bye.